Why can't I lose weight? I'm training hard, I'm following my calories, I just can't lose weight. What am I doing wrong? Does this sound like you? Well, today I have a few reasons why you might not be losing weight. There are so many variables that kind of go into our day-to-day energy balance, but today I'm specifically going to talk on the thermic effect of food and why it's so important to hit your macros and not just follow your calories. So I'm going to give you a practical example of somebody that consumes 1,500 calories a day and how making subtle changes to the ratio of each of those macros, your proteins, your carbohydrate, and fat, can actually set you back and not make progress. So let's use the example of somebody that consumes 150 grams of protein, 157 grams of carbohydrate, and 30 grams of fat. So over the course of the week, their total weekly energy budget is 10,500 calories. And the other example is somebody who also still eats 1,500 calories, but they're eating 50 grams less protein. So they're having 100 grams per day. They're eating the same amount of carbohydrates, 157, but their fats is higher as well. So they're eating 52 grams of fat per day. So let me talk to you about the thermic effect of each of the individual macronutrients. So protein is by far the most thermic of the three macronutrients I've just mentioned. Protein is about 30% thermic, carbohydrates is about 8 to 10% thermic, and fats is basically 100% available to us. So what do I mean when I say thermic? When we break down and metabolize our foods, there's a certain amount of energy and work that needs to be done to get it into a form that's available to us to use for day-to-day functions. So for protein, there is about 30% less energy available after that breakdown and metabolism process that takes place compared to fats. Even if you have the same amount of calories from fats versus protein, there's actually quite a bit of difference in the energy that's available after. It can actually affect how we're making progress towards our goals. So let me show you by putting up some math for you to see. So let's first look at the protein differences. So for individual one, they're consuming 150 grams of protein. This works out to be about 4,200 calories per week from protein. So I've simply gone 150 times 4 because that's the energy value for protein, and then I've multiplied that by 7 days of the week. Now, if we take individual 2, who's eating 100 grams of protein, we times that by 4 for the energy value of protein, we times it by 7, and that comes out to 2,800 calories per week. So over the course of those 7 days, that individual B, or the second individual, is actually eating 1,400 calories less from dietary protein. Now let's look at their fats. First individual, who's only eating 30 grams of fat, over the course of the week, their total fat calories comes out at 1,890. But if we look at the second individual who's having a lot more fats, 52 grams of fats, 7 days of the week, works out to be 3,290. So there's now an increase by 1,400 calories from dietary fats. Now we know that the thermic effect of each of those individual macronutrients is different. So when we consume that 1,400 calories from protein, there's actually a 30% reduction post-digestion to make up for the work that's being done for us to break it down. So if we replace those calories from fats, it's basically all available to us. So now there's a meaningful difference. In fact, there is a 420 calorie difference over that course of 7 days, just because we made a small change to our daily fats and our proteins. Now, 420 calories, it doesn't sound like that much, but it might be enough to kick you right back out of the deficit that you were trying to create if you were wanting to lose weight. So this is why we always say how important it is if you are trying to achieve weight loss and you're trying to eat in a deficit, then make sure you hit your individual macro targets, because calories aren't all the same. A calorie isn't a calorie. I guess that expression to some extent is true. Not all foods have the same nutritional value for calorie. Same can be said for the thermic effect of food. So guys, my overarching message here is that if you are striving for fat loss, hit your individual macros, be consistent, and the weight will come off. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.